Howdy, I'm Toby. This is Sean. It's New Year's Eve 2021.
Fucking party! We're partying with coffee.
And we're going to show you how wild we truly are by going through my favorite albums of 2021. It's actually the top 20, and might mention a tie for 21st, my 15-way tie for 21st, because it should be top 21 of 21. But we're going to get it started. Number 20, the Melvins, Working with God. The Melvins put out 2 albums this year, Working with God and the acoustic album Five-Legged Dog. I like both of them, but I prefer their regular album. Five-Legged Dog is a double album acoustic of songs from their whole career, and it's awesome for what it is. And if you want to have some Melvins on in the background, then that is great. And they did an impressive job with all their songs, and you remember how many good songs they had. But the one I actually want to listen to is this one. And so they are playing with their original drummer, Mike Dillard. This one came out really early in the year, like January, end of January. Anyway, I like it a lot. It does everything a fucking Melvins album you want a Melvins album to do. It's their 29th album.
This is their 29th.
29th album, 27th if you don't include collaboration albums, the one with Jello Biafra and the Mike and the Melvins album, which I actually like better than this album, but this one's still good. It does all the things you want a Melvins record to do. It's got some kind of novelty songs, and I don't really think their original drummer Mike is playing on all the songs. It's obviously Dale Crover on a bunch of them, but there's on the novelty songs you can kind of tell that that's the original lineup, but no one really plays like Dale Crover. He's such a badass. So yeah, Working with God. All right. Number 19. Dun, dun, Accept. This also came out really early in the year. This is Accept's 16th studio album.
Very prolific band.
Man, there's a few songs on this I would be bummed if I went to see Accept and they didn't play Zombie Apocalypse. So anyway, yeah, I love, this is what, the 5th album back with the new singer, Mark Tornillo, who took over for Udo. Anyway, y'all know that whole story. I love all those albums, especially the first 2, but I think this one is better than the last couple. And there's a couple songs that are kind of cheesy lyrically, like Sucks to Be You and Not My Problem. That's what happens when you write a chorus first. Is like sometimes you get into like catchphrase hell.
Yeah.
You know? Where's the beef?
That's right.
Yeah.
I want to rock again.
We're gonna come to that. But no. But this is actually kind of a long album, and there's some really kick-ass parts. Zombie Apocalypse, Too Mean to Die, Undertaker, Symphony of Pain. It's good stuff. I like it. I listen to it a lot, actually. So here we go. Asphyx, Necroceros,
10th
the
record.
Dutch crusty death metal band. Honestly, you can write in and call me a poser if you're watching this, but I just got on board with these guys. And I like this album, and I listen to it a lot. And a lot of the songs kind of have a slow, sludgy pace. I like Mount Skull, Molten Black Earth. The only one that really sticks out with a faster pace is Botox Implosion, which is like the single, but you can always tell when that one comes up because it's going but I listen to this a lot. I mean, I don't know, sometimes seriously, I might have a hard time telling you when my CD player plays everything twice. So if this one like started over again, I might not know, but I had it on.
When
probably.
the evil laugh comes on, that'll cue you.
Yeah, I know that it's gone 1.5 times through and it's playing Botox. Yeah, no, I mean, that being said, fucking I listened to it a whole lot. You know, it was my soundtrack for like February. We live in Austin, Texas. We had the grid go down. That was bullshit.
Is that what kept you?
I listened
warm?
to this a lot, and the other one I was listening to a lot is so what number are we on?
We're this is a fourth. 16.
16.
Yeah.
We're counting backwards from 20. Sleaford Mods. This song, Elocution. I listen to that a lot.
This is their 11th studio record. Amazingly. Gosh.
And my poser ass got on board 3 albums ago. I totally ignored them for a long time. But their last, God, I can't name their last couple albums. But yeah, I liked them both a whole lot. And this one I don't like quite as much as the one before it. But I honestly listened to it fucking 100 times this year, and I really like Mork and Mindy, Nudge It, Elocution, Shortcomings. I mean, it's a solid record.
These guys need to tour the States. I see they're pretty busy in England right now and Europe, but
I mean,
they've got a
it's
huge
probably
fan base
good.
here now.
It's a guy. Yeah, I mean, it's mostly pre-recorded live, but I haven't seen it. But yeah, I love all their records that I've heard, and I should probably go backwards and explore the earlier part of the catalog. But I like to listen to new stuff.
15.
15. It's my top local release. Austin, Texas owned Cherubs with, you know what? I'm kind of cheating because this is an EP, but it plays as long as an album because they repeat the whole thing not at half speed, but it's like it should be. If you have the vinyl version, you're supposed to play at 45, but on the B side, and then you're supposed to play at 45 and 33. And this has both versions, so it goes through all 5 songs, and then it's got like a screwed, slowed version of the same 5 songs.
Wow.
But it's really good, and I wind up listening to both all the time. And
When was this
I love
released?
the Cherubs. This album came out like later in the year. I'm thinking like October, September, October.
Do you feel like the bands that released records when the snowpocalypse happened in Austin, it was a benefit to the people or to the bands because we were stuck with those records?
Well, I had no electricity, so like I would have like that song Elocution. Like I would get it in my head because it's about like wish I could be someplace warm, like just like you know. And anyway, and then like so. I'd get enough to charge my phone and then like, oh, I'm going to listen to one song. I'm going to listen to that one I've been thinking of. Elocution by Sleaford Mods. Anyway. Yeah, no, so I didn't get to listen to a whole lot of music. I spent most of the time under a blanket or in the
Trying not to
shower.
freeze to
death. That was pretty rough. Okay, so I love these guys as people, and I love their band, and they're great. And they came back, and they were just as good as they ever were. And it's rare that you see that. Speaking of, I'm going to be playing some shows with John Motard coming up, and maybe we'll be half as good as we were. Maybe we'll be all, but me and Paul and John are going to be doing a set of Motard songs on February 11th at the Lost Well with, we'll get to that later. With This Party Sucks, who I love and had one of my favorite single of the year, but that's another subject. Okay, so we're at number 14. I haven't listened to a Ministry album since Filth Pig. They might be good. I lost interest in industrial rock. It seemed to be a fucking domain of rich guys who had 30 grand to get into. That being said, my original band sounded like Ministry. Full disclosure, there's no recordings of it, but I didn't write any of those songs. I was just happy to be in a band. And it was 1991, you know. Anyway,
This
so
is their 15th studio record.
15th album by Ministry. I listened to it a lot. It came out, I don't know, late summer. Anyway, it's
Is it like picking back up where they left off in 91 or?
kind of, but also he incorporated, Al Jurgensen incorporated elements of their original soft cell disco dance sound, you know, in parts of it, which is I think why I liked it. Like it incorporates every element I know of Ministry, including the part they ignored for so long, which was that they started off as a candy-ass dance pop band, and they kind of musically acknowledged that in this, and
That's awesome.
and I think it's cool. I like the record, and I like the fucking people really fucking hated their cover of Search and Destroy by the Stooges, and I liked it. And you know what? I don't want to hear anyone cover that fucking song. You know, like
Amen.
like that's not like a song. I mean, Mustang Sally or fucking. There's a few songs that shouldn't be covered again. And I would tell you. That being said, I have played Search and Destroy live, but their version, I like it. It's kind of like a dance version of it. I think is great. Iggy Pop liked it, and I don't turn it off. I'm stoked when it comes on.
So this is Iggy Pop approved
Iggy
cover
Pop
of Search and Destroy.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Where did he
liked
mention
it.
that? Was he?
I read it in the hype for this album when it came out.
That's
you
awesome.
know, yeah. Al was like, Iggy liked it, so I'm gonna put it on there, and I like it too. Okay, so coming up,
13.
what number is this?
Number 13.
Okay, and what number album is this for
20.
my beloved Cheap Trick?
This is number 20 for Cheap Trick.
Cheap Trick's on a roll. Like, I've liked their last 3 albums a whole lot, and like a lot of people who are Cheap Trick fans will tell me that it goes back further than that. But I completely quit paying attention in the late 80s. I actually, like that album with Can't Stop Falling in Love, like that was kind of like goodbye forever. But then
Sealed their fate for
you
a lot
know,
of people.
okay, but I have 2 copies of that single Brontosaurus that they did with Steve Albini in the mid-90s, where they tuned down and they were edgy as shit, and I was really hoping their next record would sound just like that, and it didn't. And I'm sure that record's fine, but I thought they were going to turn into the Melvins, and they didn't, and that's fine, you know. But this record is great. They played in town, and I didn't go. COVID's going on, and I had other stuff going on that night. I went to see my kids play, and they played this really square-ass place called the Nutty Brown Cafe that's out of town. And then I saw later that they only played 1 song from this album, which was probably Girls and Boys and Rock and Roll. And then I was relieved that even though I'd be happy to go see Cheap Trick, they played 8 songs from In Color and 1 song from the new album. So they're obviously
Pandering to the masses.
they knew they were. But then I saw a set list of them playing like some hip place in New York, and they played like 3 or 4 songs from the new album, which I would have been stoked to see. Like I like to see the new stuff, and sometimes I get bummed when But
Maybe they didn't have enough people like yelling
They
out the
knew
new
they
song
were
titles at
playing.
them.
Yeah,
Like you
I
would've
wasn't
done.
there screaming out.
Like, final days.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so it goes. So it goes.
The cover of Give Me Some Truth, the John Lennon song, is great. I mean, there's parts of it that are very pop, like The Summer Looks Good on You, I mean, should be a hit, and it's probably a hit in some country, but like, it's easy listening, easily digestible. Robin Sanders sounds awesome. What more do you want from the new Cheap Trick record?
I just got to point out a quick anecdote about when we were on tour with the Secret Lovers back in
99.
99. we had a little game in the tour van, and it was how long can we tolerate that horrible Cheap Trick cassette? What was the record? It was the worst one, the one you just mentioned.
Busted?
Maybe.
Or
Yes, no, it was Busted. It was Busted.
Oh.
Yeah.
It wasn't the one with the Lap of Luxury. No, I think it was Lap of Luxury with the, it's got the flame. You were first, you'll be. Oh, no. It was that shitty, it was Standing on the Edge is what we were listening to. And I love the song, that's right, Standing on the Edge. I love the song, Tonight It's You, the single from that, and the production on the rest of that album is god fucking awful.
Right.
But the one single was great, yeah. I mean...
I don't think we made it through that whole record, though.
Yeah, we used to
Maybe like 4 songs.
have cassettes in the van, and then this is littering, so we don't do it anymore. But we'd hold on to the tape and then throw the cassette out the window on the highway and then hold on to the tape, and then it would like bounce up and down behind the van.
Now that cassettes are becoming more prominent these days, like cassette, we need to reintroduce cassette flying to the younger generation for the shitty records they don't like.
Yeah, sorry, Colorado. We're like ugly Texans. We did that. Sorry, we're dicks.
All right. What are we up to now? Number 12?
I'm not so edgy in my 50s. All right, so
or
this album, or am I? Okay, LA Guns, Checkered Past. They're on a roll. I must have put them and Cheap Trick together because I'd like to see these bands tour together with Red Cross somehow. The Cheap Trick, LA
awesome.
Guns, Red Cross tour, like all the poppy rock bands that I like. Anyway, I never listened to these guys in the 80s. Ballad of Jane, that totally did not match my shoes in fucking 1990, 91. But everything I've heard since they got back together, the last 3 albums I've liked. And I listen to this album a lot. There's a couple choruses that sound like they could be on like a boy band. There's one chorus in particular, but it's fine. There's songs that sound like fucking those dark Aerosmith songs that Aerosmith doesn't do anymore. And there's a lot of good playing and, great singing. And it's a fucking great album. And I'm going to start digging back in their catalog a little bit, one by one. I did like that album, The Missing Piece. I don't own a copy of it, but I've liked their last 3 albums, and I like all the new LA Gun stuff. And I just got on board with them. So you can call me a cheese metal poser too. Whatever. I like new stuff. And so this is like 11.
This is 12, I think.
12.
I think.
Tomahawk, Tonic, Immobility.
5th studio album.
The 5th studio album from Tomahawk. Mike Patton, Dwayne Dennison, a couple other all-stars from Melvins, or from the Cows and Helmet. And anyway,
One of my favorite drummers.
Yeah, from Helmet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway,
Doesn't he play drums on this record?
It's John. I can't read that. I can't read.
This is a really terrible record.
Yeah, why are people doing goddamn fonts like that? See that kind of print? We're gonna do gray on brown.
Look at the cover. Show the cover.
I mean, okay, the cover's fine. Oh yeah. Oh, but the songs.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well go full fucking death metal with your font because I can't read it. And there's gonna be other CDs on here. Cannibal Corpse is especially, not to give it away, but they're fucking putting dark red on brown print is impossible to fucking read. Anyway, yeah, I like this album a lot. It sounds like all the riffs that would be on a Jesus Lizard record if Jesus Lizard was still together with Mike Patton singing on it. And I heard that Mike Patton sat on these tracks, instrumental tracks, for 2 years before he got inspired to write lyrics to them during the pandemic, but whatever happened, it works. I like this record. This is Tomahawk's my favorite band with Mike Patton in it, and it's probably his least selling one, you know. But
What would be next, Mr. Bungle or
oh
Faith
God,
No More?
I
We'll come back to that.
We'll
That'll be the next episode.
Yeah. I don't know. So this one's great. I mean, he's had so many like little side projects and stuff too. Okay, so awesome album. Fucking get it. Here we go. 11. The 17th album by Darkthrone. Eternal Hails. Darkthrone puts out like an album a year, and they've been on my list for like the last 5 years. And if you know anything about Darkthrone, you know that their fans are in two camps. There's people like me who like their new stuff, and then you know, Darkthrone and albums 1 through fucking 10 or whatever invented black metal, and that stuff is awesome, but I love what they're doing now, and whatever. Some people like all of it, and you should. I like all of it, but I really like what they're doing now the best, and I think I fucking got on board, whatever, it was Circle the Wagons, what was that, 2010 or 9. I love that album. Anyway, so every time fucking Darkthrone puts out an album, I pre-order it, and I love all their stuff, and I might start to go backwards, but I don't know. I mean, some of their lo-fi black metal stuff, I can't say that I don't know how much I would listen to it. I appreciate it for what it is, but
Was Circle the Wagons one of their last records before their change from black metal?
no, I mean, they sound like fucking Bad Brains on that album. They had gone totally punk rock, and it's a few albums before that where like the pure black metal fans will say they quit listening to Darkthrone. I was talking to a dude in San Antonio who doesn't like
Fuck them. He's just
no,
not about
he's
anymore.
cool dude, but doesn't like the new Darkthrone and doesn't like the new Carcass stuff that I also really love.
Those people have to exist, Toby.
That's
We have to have
that's
those people.
fine. You know, you always need purists in every kind of genre. You need fans. All right, is this number 10?
This is 10. We're halfway through.
Are we through this? Okay. Lucifer 4.
This is their 4th record.
Oh yeah. Lucifer 4. This album's great. I'm gonna be straight up. It's not quite as great as Lucifer 3, which was incredible. This album's also incredible. I mean, it's the only thing I can compare. If you haven't listened to Lucifer, I think it sounds like Pat Benatar singing for Blue Oyster Cult, like in a modern approximation. And if that doesn't appeal to you, then probably want to skip this. But it's awesome. I think their albums are great. The dude who's the singer, she's German, the rest of them are Swedish. The drummer is like the main dude in the Helicopters, who also have a new album coming out, who haven't put out an album. Lucifer's put out like 4 albums in 4 years, so I don't know when anyone would have had time to do anything else. But this album's awesome. You might as well jump in here. The more I listen to it, the more I like it, and it's great.
Are they progressively getting better, do you think, from their first record to this record?
I
Or
got
are they
on
pretty
board
much
with number 3, and I've only heard a few songs from the first 2, and they sounded just like up to the standard of everything I've heard. I think they started with the formula, and they were totally pro, it sounds like. And they sound like they knew what they were doing. Number 9. Oh boy, it's a covers album. It's Willie Nelson and his band.
And this is his 3rd studio record.
Yeah.
71.
71?
Yeah, number 71.
Jeez. Okay. Willie likes to repeat songs. Like, if you get through, like, he'll be like, man, we never had a harmonica solo on the road again. No, I love Willie. I buy everything Willie puts out, and in the last couple of years, this is my favorite, and it's all his second album of songs that Frank Sinatra recorded. And it's his band playing them, and it's impeccable playing, and it's awesome. I mean, what can you say? The production's great, the singing's great, the playing's great, the songs are great, the arrangement's great. So that was great.
Yeah, I listened to that today while taking a walk, and it just, the whole mood of it is happy, and it's so slick, and like you said, all the musicians on that record are just top notch. It's a great record.
You can tell Willie's a badass because he's had the same people in his band my whole fucking lifetime. Like, you know that he rules. Like, you can tell when your favorite singer always seems to have a whole crop of new anonymous people, it means they suck to work for. And certain people like Neil Diamond and Willie Nelson, and I mean, they've had the same crew. Oh, Weird Al's had the same crew
band
for
like 30 years, 35 years.
Because he's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, this is great. That's live, Willie Nelson. All right. I think I mentioned this before. Cannibal Corpse.
God
What's this?
Damn, number
What
15. Their 15th record.
Okay, I'm a Cannibal Corpse fan. I pre-order everything they put out. In my spirit of liking the new stuff, I love George Corpse Grinder Fisher. Okay, so a band like Cannibal Corpse, you're gonna get people who are like, the early stuff's the best, and they say that about everybody. But for me, among other things, the production keeps getting better. So for me, the albums sound better. You might like the songs from The Bleeding or before that, but these albums sound so great. So anyway, this is everything you want from a Cannibal Corpse album, except there's no slow, grindy song like Scourge of Iron or, one of those. But the playing is incredible. The production is awesome. The songs completely kick ass. It's totally formula Cannibal Corpse. There's no surprises here. They rock it from start to finish, and I loved it.
It's solid as fuck. The whole record is so good, all the way through and through. There's no terrible songs on that record. It kills. And if I could make a comparison, as far as their production is concerned, like this production, and I might get in trouble for this, but the production reminded me a lot of the Blood Mountain record by Mastodon, and that record for me fucking blew my mind when it came out, and this is very similar, and the slick production, it's really good. It's great. It's just the perfect metal, perfect fucking production for this style. It's awesome.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I haven't listened to a whole lot of Mastodon. Of course, hear a lot of great things, but I'll check out Blood Mountain.
Yeah, I'm not too crazy about their latest stuff, but yeah.
I heard it got kind of mellow.
Yeah.
There's just more prog. They get more and more prog.
Yeah, for sure.
But they're
Picardo would like
not on my list. Yes, I'm a big fan of Sea of Tranquility. So anyway, what number are we at?
This is number 8, I believe.
Carcass, Who Can Do No Wrong. Of course, I mean, it's been like 8 years since their last album. They put an EP out, and they're probably going to tour this for 4 years, but it's so good. The riffs are so solid. I love the new Carcass stuff. There's other people who, I think Carcass helped invent death metal, and then as I've heard Bill Steer say, they just want to do something that's going to be hard for other bands to copy, and they're definitely fucking doing their own thing, and I don't know if you call it death metal anymore, but they're awesome. What's not to like about this album? The playing is great, the songs are memorable.
Well, what kills me about listening to this record is that, like you said, the songs are, you couldn't cover these songs because they're just so fucking intricate.
Yeah.
I don't see how they can even remember them, playing a show live, but that's just what makes it so great, is to even think that thought, is that, they're just fucking great at what they do, and their songs are just written so well. Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted to see them play some auditoriums opening for Slayer when they're back through, but I didn't see that. God, yeah, I pre-order everything by Carcass.
I'm gonna say it's so good. I don't think that they'll remember how to play these songs live. I think they learned them for the studio, and then they were just so amazing and insanely intricate that they fucking forgot them right the day after recording. No, I hope I can see them live at some point.
Yeah, I love Carcass. Okay, here's my most mainstream pick of the year, and I have to put it on because honestly, I listen to it a shit ton. Your grandma has it, your mom loves it, and you can't talk shit because the singing's great, the playing's great, the arrangements are impeccable, the production sounds like it's in sparkling Technicolor.
Their voices are beautiful.
Yes.
They're both amazing. Still, Tony Bennett.
Fucking Lady Gaga just sounds incredible. Tony Bennett's 94 years old. Every time he puts out a record, he's like the oldest guy to hit the charts. And that's like his last 5 records or whatever it was, you know. So, yeah, it's a classic and you can't really talk shit. You could, I mean, I guess. You can feel free to get in the comments and talk all kinds of shit. Just watch the video. All right, so I like the whole damn thing. So I'll continue to listen to it some more. You know, this is something I put on late at night.
And what other review video are you going to see that has Carcass backed with, you know, Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga? So yeah. But
for real,
it's a great record. I listened to it the other day at work, and it just put a smile on my face.
Yeah, it's awesome. And here we go. Is this number 5?
I think so.
Okay. Monster Magnet. I haven't bought an album of theirs since Super Judge. I honestly, I really got into garage rock in the 90s. And anyway, this album, fucking A Better Dystopia, is them doing all obscure acid rock covers from the early 70s. And I knew a few of the songs by like Pink Fairies and stuff, but you know, usually people don't include covers albums on a best of year-end list, but as far as I'm concerned, this is on par with like Metallica, Garage Days Revisited, and like bringing back like songs like that people don't know. These are obscure records and they fucking sound great. This artwork just kicks so much fucking ass.
It's so good. It's so good. You know what it reminds me of is like 80s Santa Cruz graphics from, you know, old Santa Cruz skateboards. But yeah, beautiful.
Yeah,
cover.
I started going backwards and picking up all the Monster Magnet albums I missed in the discount bin, you know. Pretty good, you know. There's some stuff, there's some catalogs I need to go revisit that I kind of missed the boat on. Another surprise coming up on number 4. Sturgell Simpson, Cutting Grass, Volume 2.
I listened to that too. It's really good.
I listen to this so much. Look, you can tell by looking at these guys, like, that they can play well because they didn't get here on their looks, you know? I mean, for real. So this is his second album of doing bluegrass arrangements of songs he already recorded. And I don't even know the country versions of these. All these songs were new to me. I'd only heard his cover of When in Rome, which I thought was awesome. It's beautiful, the Promise by When in Rome, his country version of that. And I'd heard good things about him, but the first album of bluegrass covers is great. But he said these were the songs he was afraid to try but wanted to. But this one smokes the first one, and I've listened to it a lot. This was like... the playing is so good, the singing's so good. Anyway, Cutting Grass Volume 2.
I think I read 2 of those songs on this record previously unreleased. Or he recorded them and then did them for this record. So, but anyway.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's great. I love this record. Okay, we're getting to the top 3.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. People don't usually put live records on there, but Suffocation, live in North America, it came out like November.
This is their second
Second live
record.
album. I haven't heard the first one. I have like their last couple studio albums. I really got into death metal around 2011, 2012. I like some death metal for that. I just wasn't a metal guy, but I've been increasingly into death metal. And this album is their singer Frank is quitting the band. It's one of his last shows at the Middle East in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and they're running through their best songs with a very clean sounding recording. And I always think bands sound their best when they're breaking up and they know they're not playing these songs again. And he's really putting everything into it.
They don't hold back on this one.
And oh my God, I love this album. It's so good. You can just get this one first. It's like fucking, people tell you sometimes if you haven't listened to Judas Priest, jump in with Unleashed in the East. Jump in with this one. Oh my God. It's so good. I love this record. Anyway, they're doing songs from all 8 of their albums, and they're really playing their hearts out, and I can't say enough good things about Live in North America by Suffocation.
And you can tell what nice people they are just by what he's saying in between songs. Like, he's so happy to be there. He's so appreciative of
I love
the
all you guys. Thanks for supporting Suffocation. This song's about killing people. Something I love doing.
I love you.
Yeah, I love you. No, it's awesome. Awesome. Okay, top 2.
Number 2.
Viagra Boys, Welfare Jazz.
It's their second record.
Shit, what are you gonna say about these guys? I don't even fucking, they're European. They're British, right? Viagra Boys?
I should have done that.
I haven't even heard their first album. This album is fucking, I'd heard the song Sports. That's what I'd heard. And then this album came out in January and I listened to it 250 times. The top, okay, so there's not going to be any more death metal in the list. We're up to the top 2. And the top 2 albums are kind of similar. And I grouped them together, and they're bands that hipsters like, and sometimes that's a good thing, and I think these guys are doing something interesting, and the songs are there, so what are you gonna say? I'm excited to hear it, and I can't wait to hear everything else that they do. Welfare Jazz is a great record. It's got so many good songs on it.
The music writing is amazing, and it
Reminds
goes
me of
in
the-
so many different directions,
Reminds me of the Birthday Party sometimes, Geez, yeah, what a record. If you haven't heard this one, the only thing, it kind of reminds me of is my number 1 pick, which is a pretty hyped record, but it deserves all the hype. Crawler by Idols. I think anyone can get into this record. I don't know. Maybe. I think these guys are shit hot, but I think they have the potential for way wider appeal. I think they'll probably just keep getting more and more popular, even though they sold out stubs here pretty quickly. I didn't want to go because I don't want to be at sold out anything with COVID going around. But man, the Wheel, God, the songs are all here on this one. I really liked their last album, Ultramono, which came out last year. That was really high on my list and just as good, if not better. I don't know. These guys are really peaking out probably right now on this one, and yeah, I'm gonna give it album of the year. I think, there's the rockin' parts are they've got their own thing going on, and then like the moody, artier parts, it kind of, I don't know, it kind of makes me think of what Radiohead's suggesting on where I wish they would go, but they never quite go there, you know, kind of like a Wire thing going on. I'm not a Radiohead fan, obviously, but like, they're always suggesting some cool direction they're gonna go, and I never hear it, you know. This album, fucking dope.
It's really good, and yeah, there's a whole fucking mood to it too. Like I think listening to the whole record, you know, one song after the next, all the way through, it really puts you in a mood and it carries you.
Yeah.
You know, but like you said, like the rockin' songs are rockin', and then there are other more Gang of Four-ish meets.
Yeah, Gang of Four.
Early Queens of the Stone Age meets like jazz vocally kind of experiment. It's just great. Like everything they're doing.
I'm hearing Gang of Four in both of these bands, you know, like
any
that I put
conclusions
on
that
my
I drew
top
about,
two.
yeah, me too. Yeah,
Yeah.
and any conclusions I drew about them from their previous records, like were out the window with these, because like they just keep finding themselves with their music, and they're exploring different directions, and they're all working. They're doing really good at what they are doing, you know, and I love it. Yeah, it's great. It sets a really good mood.
Yeah, awesome record. Okay, I'm gonna go through a couple other things that didn't quite make my list that are notable or I like.
Tied for 21st. You got like 15 tied for 21st.
Well, yeah. Okay. Now this one is my favorite. I want this. You can tell I like purple stuff probably, and if I could get this fucking Hooded Menace, the Tritonus Bell, I want this poster framed. Like, is that not the best cover ever? Like, this album seriously was a little bit shy of my top 20. I mean, not that shy. It was probably like, seriously, like 22nd. It totally rocks. It's just, there's a lot of albums, you know, but oh my God, that fucking cover. Don't you just want that on my wall? See, that's not big enough. But anyway, I have a green wall too that it might pop on. But anyway, Hooded Menace, this album is really good, really good. Oh, okay. Here's two records that came out like fucking the last week of 2021, which is like, I just want to tell these bands, like, if they're trying to be as low profile as possible and get no one to notice their albums, I know people in both these bands, but these are both great records that came out like December 28th, 2021. Like, just late enough to make no one's list and not be eligible to be counted on the next one. But Apraxic from Portland. Unfortunately, I heard they broke up. This record is heavy as shit.
Fucking smoke.
What do you know about this, Sean?
Dude, it's just fucking like in your face, brutal. Love it. The vocals are great, and the drumming. Their musicianship is fucking just incredible. Just run top speed into a brick wall, like rock, man. It's great. It's great.
Apraxic. Yeah, and No Cure, No Hope. And it sounds like that. I mean, it sounds like what it looks like. It's our friend August. He was in Society of Friends. I put out a single for them way back when, and I love them. They were like a power violence band in Austin in the 90s. Oh, and Pong from Austin, and this like their 6th album, 2113. And I fucking lost the cover, and I had to reprint the cover.
Wow,
anyway,
you reprinted that? That's
I reprinted
pretty good.
it. Yeah. I don't know what happened. I think I sent my car in or something. Anyway, it looks kind of like that. This album's a lot of fun dance rock, and everyone plays really well. And God, this one could have easily been 21st. I mean, I listened to this fucking 60 times. It was great. Other albums I listened to a lot. The album most people told me to shut off in my car. Dee Snider, Leave a Scar. This is some positive message Broadway metal, and I loved it. The playing's great. Dee sounds like he's been in some shows, you know. I Gotta Rock again. He's making no bones. Like he's old, so he's not gonna say anything he doesn't mean. So it's all like really positive message stuff. Anyway,
it's heavier than I thought it would be. Sorry.
It's heavy as shit. No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I thought it would be a little more cheesy metal, but it's pretty heavy.
It's heavy. He brings it. I like it. Sodom, another EP. They've done some EPs in their last album that came out last year. They're totally on a roll. I love everything by Sodom. Stranglers album. There's some songs on here. I love the Stranglers. It's so influential on my bass tone. The original Stranglers stuff. This album is too mellow for me, but it's awesome. A lot of people are gonna hear it and love it. I just, the energy level kept going down on me. But
that's the keyboards.
Everything's awesome, and then they have this song that's so sad called "If You Should See Dave" about their guitar player who died. And oh my God, it'll rip your fucking heart out. But I mean, it's like revisiting an old friend. It's the Stranglers, and it sounds like once you hear it, it's nobody else. I mean, they probably didn't want to rock every song after one of their main dudes died, but when it picks up, it kind of reminds me of, Wire's done some good stuff in the last few years that nobody I know has heard, and it's hard to get the stuff, but it's good.
But if you put it on, would you be like, oh, this is a fucking Wire?
Yeah, both. If you heard the new Wire stuff and you heard the new Strangler stuff, you'd know who it is immediately, I don't know if I'm going to talk about any. Oh, here's a couple ones. Okay. As much as I loved Cutting Grass Volume 2, I straight up don't get this record that came out later in the year. I mean, Sturgell Simpson put out 2 albums this year, and that's really impressive. And I'm sure there's a ton of people who prefer this to the one I like, but I don't. It sounds like a soundtrack to some weird 60s Davy Crockett TV show. I totally admire Sturgell Simpson. I don't get this record. Okay. This record took some heat. KK's Priest. I like it. I don't know.
Why did it take heat?
There's nothing original about this record. This is 2 ex-members of Judas Priest trying to do a Judas Priest sound-alike album, and it's got song titles like Raise Your Fists and Brothers of the Road and Metal Through and Through, Wild and Free, and
I Want to Rock Again. Oh wait, no.
Yeah. Hellfire Thunderbolt. Man, that's a good song. I would listen to this before I'd listen to Nostradamus. I mean,
is this like more quality of the same? Like more of the same, but just everything you'd expect from Judas Priest, but not Judas Priest. Almost there.
If you like Judas Priest, this should be enjoyable. I mean, if you don't give a fuck about artistic integrity and be like, I mean, but whatever. I mean, it's just the lyrics are, but once you hear the music for Raise Your Fist, you're like, what the fuck else are you going to sing to that? Jesus. But that being said, no originality, totally enjoyable. Pretty good. Not as good as their last one. Pretty good. Sean loves this album.
It's a great record. But you have a point about the lyrics.
It got real serious. They used to be the funnest band, and I totally admire Amy, and I don't know her, but like her talent, I think she's a great front person. I think she's brilliant.
Not as carefree as the first
She's
two
got
records.
the weight of the world on her on this one, and it's not as fun as they used to be. I know we're kind of in depressing times right now, but I mean, But that being said, if I went and saw them, which I'd go see them in a second, I'd totally want to hear like "Freaks to the Front," which could have been on their last album.
Maggot's a great rock song.
Yeah, I mean the riffs are all there, you know. She just sounds bummed out, you know. And I don't want to belittle that because there's probably a lot of people who think like they've got good on this one, you know. But it's just not as fun. And anyway. Memoriam. This album could easily be 21. I listen to it a lot. This is a lot like the Necroceros. Memoriam is it's the singer from Bolt Thrower, and it's a continuation of like crusty death metal. It's British, and this album to the end is great, and it's kind of like one kind of long crusty death metal soundtrack, but it really fit my mood for the first half of the year, so I listen to it a lot, and it has a cool cover. And last, Alice Cooper. It was good to hear the original band back together, and there's a lot of songs on this, and some of them are goofy and some of them are really great.
How's his voice?
He sounds great. Yeah. The band sounds great. There's some really good songs on this. When I hear this on shuffle, like I forget how good songs like Social Debris and Hail Mary. The really, really great song is the ballad Our Love Will Change the World. The covers of Velvet Underground and Mitch Ryder are very good. Solid album. I liked it. So, yeah. Okay. I also thought this album was a lot of fun. And not popular with my friends I played it for, but I liked it. The Saxon covers album. They've got an album coming out like in February that I'm real excited about. I already have pre-ordered, and hopefully me and Sean will be here talking about it. But man, okay, there's a couple... God, I don't have it here. We were just listening to Turning to Crime, the new Deep Purple covers album, the Saxon covers album. Neither of them are essential listening, but they're both totally fun, and they both are old guys doing old songs, especially the Deep Purple. Man, they don't do anything that's not old as shit on the Deep Purple record. It's everything's 50, but you know what? It's fun. Their cover of Love is awesome, but this Saxon one, and I keep saying you can get this vinyl for like $14 new. Wow. And so they do, you know, Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Rolling Stones, Black Sabbath, Jimi Hendrix. I mean, but hey, it's more, they do Motorhead. It's more recent than fucking Deep Purple. Thin Lizzy. They do Toto, Hold the Line. They do AC/DC.
Oh, they do the Jabbers song? I'm kidding.
Yeah, which one? Yeah, no, there's no surprises on either one of those records. They're totally enjoyable. I mean, not essential, but god damn, give it a listen. Yeah, Turning to Crime. I like that one too. And it's fun to hear Saxon doing stuff. I'd like to hear. I like the recent Saxon stuff. There's another band that I slept on forever that I think is doing great stuff right now. So we gotta wrap this up, Sean.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Yeah, first video. Let us know what you think. I know I did a lot of staring at Toby, but I'm gonna do some homework before your next top 20. And get to chime in with an uneducated take on, you know, the records that you really enjoy. So,
hey,
this was fun.
We're gonna take you out with a song. Get on the drum, Sean.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Let me turn this on. Turn the camera this way. All right.
Get my hit sticks. Part of the video that everyone was really fucking waiting for. Mm-hmm. What would you like to do?
What's that, rock and roll rock?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's your call.
Thank you.